There are some days when you'd rather get drunk all day than have to suffer through this again.
Good day, Excellency.
Lady de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tir on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it, and perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that, but I'm sure that my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The Prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You were hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do. Could you tell me anything about Ptolemy?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet, and give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Ptolemy are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminis and the more political orders. The Lord Luminis has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical, and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
What is your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Ptolemy, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
How is Ptolemy faring on Tir?
we built a marvelous city, San Mateus, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult, disgusting creatures. But I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Tirfredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
The merchant is there.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. Some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's niece. All is in order. We will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Be back soon, Captain.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Miss Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavia and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving Serene. The ambassador of Ptolemy has entrusted me with the job of capturing them.
Happy to see that you trust me enough to seek my counsel in the affair. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. The Cardinal's men are far from discreet. They're making quite some ruckus, asking to search our warehouses. We of course refused entry. Only the Norts have access. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I'm certain your potential stowaways aren't far. But we won't allow you to make a search to grab them. Not officially, at least.
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often more useful than titles and words.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nort?
Our magic, yes, that only the Norts master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Norts for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofridi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin, by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
You cannot pass. Only the Norts have access to the prison.
to my help, and death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Madam, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make for good company.
Whatever you need to be the talk of all serene. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your liking? What might I help you with? Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
The warehouse is off limits. Move along.
Can't you make an exception?
No, sorry, milady. Move along, please. Now!
Very well, I'm going.
And death to the others!
That's the first time I've ever seen anyone fight to get into a prison.
Are you the smuggler that the Nauts arrested?
You massacred all these guards just to ask me that question? You must really be in a hurry to get out of the city.
Answer me, please.
I'm already locked up. What more do I risk? Yes, I am a smuggler. But I'm not the only one in this city.
I'm searching for a couple fleeing Thélème. They are trying to leave the city discreetly. Have they contacted you?
You certainly can't imagine I'm going to answer you without getting something in exchange. I don't really think of my clients as kin, but I'd never betray any of them for free.
A real saint, you are. How about your freedom in exchange for your loyalty? Tell me where I can find them and I'll open this cage.
That works for me. Your 2 Telemites are hidden in a warehouse behind this very prison. They must be waiting for me. But you might want to be quick about it. If the Nauts get their hands on them, they'll find themselves in this same cage.
Thank you.
Anytime. And these doors? You're gonna open them, right? Thank you, my lord. And don't worry about me. I'll slip outside without being seen. Thank you, my lord. And don't worry about me. I'll slip outside without being seen.
It's blocked. It's blocked.
Damnation! We've been found. I told you that the smuggler was not worthy of our trust.
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison. But reveal to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor! Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition, then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Thélème so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it will provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Thélème after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, Saint Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth. which convinced St. Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white. And there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could. Forget what you have discovered, perhaps?
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I could have a word with the good Dr. Sahin, the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. If he can be persuaded to offer you asylum, you would be saved.
Your goodness honors you. May the Illuminated forever light your path.
If I manage to convince the ambassador, you'll need to refrain from that sort of blessing. Stay here. I'll be back.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away!
boots worn through? Is your hat out of style?
Your Excellency.
Lady de Sade.
I would like to talk to you about a rather delicate matter.
I am listening.
A couple of historians have made a recent discovery concerning Matthias, the founder of the mythical Ptolemy, and it seems that this is not to the liking of the Illuminated. Or at least his more fervent subjects.
These sinister hypocrites are going to want to burn them at the stake.
Without a doubt. And that's why these poor people are begging you to offer them asylum.
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lady de Sade.
We owe you our lives. We are eternally grateful.
It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting to your new country.
If you would allow me, I would like to give you this. It's not much, but it is all that we possess.
Farewell.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart. Good day, Excellency.
Lady de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
Alas, these renegades have found protection with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. I would not have been able to capture them without risking a diplomatic incident that my uncle would have condemned.
The bridge. I thought as much. Those heretics have turned to them. But I had hoped that you might intervene quickly enough to stop them. It is truly regrettable. We have nothing else to do but pray that the Luminous might shield us from their lies.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade. Greetings. I hope your day will be better than mine.